Time for token spotlight. Let's break down the technology, the team, and whether this is a gem or a scam. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a wonderful day, the first day of the working week, which is Monday. Even though we know that in the crypto space, the last 24 hours has been very traumatic for a lot of people, especially those people that trade futures. We know that the prices of cryptocurrencies has dumped in the past 24 hours, with Bitcoin going from the last time that we had our discussion to 102k from about 104 to 105k. So there are a lot of things for us to dissect today in today's live. I'm going to be and I'm excited to be having it with you guys. And as always, you stay tuned. You can drop your chats in the chat section. I'll be able to respond to your messages, your questions, and I'm excited to be able to handle today's live. Web3 Pulse with the Crypto Evangelist is a very interactive live program whereby we explore what's happening in the crypto space. We talk about the latest news. We do our market watch. We do our token spotlight. We also explore different aspects of crypto. It's just a place where we come, we interact, we learn, and we explore what's happening in the ever-evolving world of crypto. So let's get into it. Let's look at what's actually trending. Today we have a lot of things to discuss about, and one of the things that we're going to be looking at is the crypto crash. So we can see that Bitcoin has crashed below 103k with about $450 million vanishing. And what we mean by $450 million vanishing, it's not that the money disappeared, it's more or less like liquidations. So if we look at the news that we have here, we can see that in the last 24 hours there's been a crazy tumble in US trading hours, which has wiped Bitcoin's gains. We know that the Iranian legislature has voted to close the Straits of Hormuz, which is the area where about 25% of all oil tankers pass, or all oil, I don't want to use the word oil tankers, all oil ships pass, and it's going to be huge for global trade due to the Russian, due to the Iran-Israel crisis. Sorry, I wanted to say Russia-Ukraine crisis, but it's the Iran-Israel crisis. And we can see that it has really affected the entire crypto ecosystem, with the crypto market down. We can see that Bitcoin, according to this Unity Wallet executive, Bitcoin is caught between a stalemate between the bullish long-term outlook and the short-term mix of sentiment. So what started as a positive day, if for those that were in the market yesterday, resulted in sharp dip. And at the time of this live, Bitcoin has even done below 103,000. Bitcoin is around 102,000 now. We've seen a dip for most of the other cryptocurrencies. We all know that if Bitcoin should drop by about 1%, we tend to see more dips for altcoins like Ethereum. Ethereum is down about 4 to 5%. Solana is also down, though many of them have rebounded in the last few hours, but the volatility actually caught a lot of traders off guard, with over 450 million in derivative trading positions on centralized exchanges liquidated. And what happened is that many traders that longed their assets, longing is that you are saying the price of Bitcoin will go up. And when there is a sharp decline, when you talk about derivatives, you're talking about futures, you're talking about margin, you're talking about the different derivatives in crypto. A sharp dip in the market could lead to losses because of those that either they have over leveraged their trading positions, or they did not leverage properly. Some people don't even set stop losses because they are thinking that the crypto market is going to be bullish. And we can see that the liquidation actually caught a lot of people off guard, with over $387 million in liquidation that were tied to long positions, while the rest were tied to short positions. But I'm not surprised that we saw about $450 million liquidated on most of the top exchanges. And there's a lot of macro risks which abound, and among them the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran. That's what everyone knows that has been trending in recent days. We can see that the conflict shows no signs of getting resolved, and unsurprisingly we are seeing that it's affecting the markets, with several assets like down. And the mixed view of many people is that this current macroeconomic conditions could lead to the price of Bitcoin dipping to the 90K mark. We've seen some predictions saying that Bitcoin could hit the 90K mark. Some predictions are saying Bitcoin could actually go above 110K again. But with the way the market sentiment is, I can see the community sentiment is a bit bullish. But from what we can see from the market, I don't really expect the price of Bitcoin to really surge like that, because there are a lot of things that need to go right in the market. And at the moment, the market is sort of in fear because there is political uncertainty. We know the US bombed some sites in Iran last week, and there's still uncertainty on retaliations. We know the airspaces in Israel and Iran are closed. We also know the airspaces in regional stable areas like Dubai and also UAE are also closed. So those kind of macro factors or fundamental analysis are going to play a major role when we are talking about the price of Bitcoin. Even though people call Bitcoin digital gold, as I always say, Bitcoin still gets affected by many of the things that happen in the market. So it's not just saying that Bitcoin is a digital gold, it's about the cryptocurrency market and how these developments affect. And then we go to our second news of today, which is about this one is regulatory news. Norway are looking to ban crypto mining. I think it's due to the electricity, the strain on electricity. I think this is one word that we always see comes and goes, especially for a developing country like for a developed country like Norway. I'm actually surprised because Norway is an oil producing nation. They produce a lot of energy, produce a lot of power. But many countries have put different ban on mining Bitcoin and other proof of work cryptocurrencies because of the strain that it puts on their energy sector. And unsurprisingly, we can see that the news coming out from Copenhagen, that's Denmark, about Norway, is saying that Norway is looking to impose a temporary ban on the establishment of new data centers that mine cryptocurrencies with the most power intensive technology in order to conserve electricity for other industries, the Nordic countries government said on Friday. And we can see that they are looking to limit the mining of cryptocurrency in Norway. But one of the things that is surprising is that in developed countries, mining is a very, very expensive operation. So I'm sort of surprised, because if mining is a very expensive operation like the way it is in most developing countries, then there shouldn't be a ban on mining operations, because you would expect that the cost of mining would be prohibitive for many players. But it appears like that is not the case, because we can see that there is a lot of there is a ban on mining in Norway, even though it's going to be a temporary ban. So what they are trying to do is that they are not looking for new data centers. The temporary ban is likely to be introduced during the autumn of 2025. I think that's one thing I like about some developed countries compared to developing countries from Africa or back home from where I'm from. When they make regulations, they tend to give a time frame, which is very good, because it allows the platforms to be for them to expect the development, for them to know that you have to there are not going to be new data centers. We could see a surge in applications for the existing ones. There's always that allowance for existing people within that framework to be aware, to make changes, to be able to plan, compared to developing countries like Africa, like Nigeria, where I'm from back home. You just see regulatory uncertainty. The central bank can just wake up and just ban cryptocurrency mining out of the blue without any warning, without any time frame. So, but in developed countries, we tend to see that there's usually that kind of grace period or awareness period. I think it could also be because of legal concerns, because in most developed countries, individuals and citizens and organizations, they actually have that ability to go to court and win cases against the government, which is not really common in developing countries. So let's move on to our next news for today. Next news for today is still with regards the crypto market. We can see that there has been an altcoin bloodbath. where we can see several cryptocurrencies have plunged. We can see the likes of Virtua. We've seen the likes of SPX, Uniswap showing like significant dip in their price, and it's not surprising because when you think of it, the crypto market dip has really affected a lot. We can see from this news on Crypto Times, although they have a lot of ads on their platform. This is quite ridiculous, but it's not surprising. Talking about like the cryptocurrency market has concluded this week on a bearish note. We can see many altcoins are down. You can see the chart, a screenshot of the chart based on coin market cap. You can see that virtual protocol is down 10%. Uniswap, Lido, WorldCoin, Dog with Heart, the meme coin, Solana based meme coin is also down, which is not surprising because we know that this market dip just came up suddenly. We thought the market was rebounding, but the Israel-Iran crisis shows no signs of abating, and unsurprisingly, we might not see any major developments there for a while because there is a lot of uncertainty within that ecosystem. There is the United States is not accepting, and we can see that Donald Trump has given Iran a timetable to come into negotiations, but I don't really think that might work because we are definitely seeing that there is a lot of like uncertainty about what's next. Like there is a lot of uncertainty about what's next, and there is really no one knows the next steps that is going to happen in the case between Israel and Iran. It's just a crazy situation at the moment. Like many people are baffled and are looking at it that it shows no signs of abating. So that's basically it about many of those altcoins. It's not really surprising that we are having this kind of situation whereby there is a lot of uncertainty in the market. There's a lot of like many companies are looking into like putting their assets from many altcoins into Bitcoin, and then we are seeing there's a lot of changes. Remember, always do your own research. Subscribe to the Crypto Evangelist for daily token analysis that cuts through the hype.